This word makes the photographer a little shaky. I turned to ask you for sure. She replied firmly. Just don't make me betray my family. You can do anything. Photographer, with a sinister smile. Then she came up to her, and she asked her why. Make the heart of the dance blush breathe red. Face to face like this. To make the dance shy to become a young girl. The photographer then laughed. He turned around and agreed to protect it, making Long Wine happy. He said more. I can accept you as a disciple. Next thing you need to see is your expression. If the teacher is not satisfied, I can always throw you out of the room. Long Wen asked in a hurry, So, master, can you ride that sword? The photographer replied casually, I know you're still stuck with this. You're not fit to practice the sword. I wrote another letter for you. Long Wine is still stubborn, but I still want to try it. I think it's because I can't rely on them. The photographer agrees, but it's a reminder that there's a wide range of martial arts. AI also has field bases. My own school. Take your weaknesses, compared to the advantages of others. This is a very stupid act. Once you go to form a concept, maybe it will stay in the field forever. There's no way to move forward on your own. Even if it's just one step. Long Yu Yan immediately nodded. Beauty photographer now. Long Yu Yan is clearly a young lady. Quite simply, what happened in my last life? That made her turn into such an extremely cruel person. The birth back can change. Long Vu Yin is also considered the creator of NDTO. This world, there's a lot you don't know. Long Yu Yan asked the teacher in surprise. What do you mean by that? The photographer replied, You're not very curious. I'm the same age as you. But the cultivation world is far beyond the SAO. She said, maybe I am a few years older than you. But the photographer told the practitioner to live a very long life. No need to measure age. In short, we can be. It's because we know a lot of things that people don't know. The genie said, I want to ask that question too. Continue to speak martial arts. It's not really the limit of martial arts. In this universe, there is an existence called the Holy Spirit. He's sealed off infinite space. Control of the three great worlds, including the long domain. Even though he is in a high position. But be very careful. It was the man who made him feel threatened. He will surely be pursued. Even friends. It is difficult for people to escape from solitary. The soul is hard to keep. Thousands of years, countless soldiers full of compassion. The play of heaven and earth. Not to fight him. That these things, only those who have learned the art of acting. You can get a little touch. Master of the five gods. Master Hyan is not, even your master is a false deity. They're all people who have learned the art of acting. Celestial performance art. In their bodies, they're constantly acting. That they get in before they get to the end. All are forced to die. The question is, you have to die. The photographer continued. The art of acting, once it reaches its limit, will be discovered by God. By that time, all the gods were dead, will face destruction. Thousands of years of resistance. Super-level fake power died in the hands of the Holy Emperor. Has grown to millions. And the Emperor has also died countless times, but the resistance never succeeded. The Emperor still holds his own hegemony. Long Vu acoustically exclaims the acting Kai. I seem to have understood a little of Master's words that year. She remembered what the Master had said. In human nature intends to destroy Kai. Billions of souls will not die unjustly. Long dance life also has a last time. Every human life is too much. It's a point in time and space. You don't have to feel sorry for the teacher. But no matter what, please don't learn the art of acting. It's enough just to have one transmission. Long Vu ignored the master calling. She is feeling right now. The Lord is not as good as the dead. Maybe the moon could die at any time. The photographer said she wouldn't die. Because I will defeat God. Are you willing to help me? Long asked in surprise. You also want to fight God? You're not saying no one can succeed. The photographer nodded in confirmation. He said solemnly alone. It's really not possible. If there is a team, I'm not sure. I will not force. It's dangerous anyway. Long Wu Yan firmly said no matter what to let me do. We all listen to you. The photographer continued. The power of God surpasses your imagination. We must unite all our forces. I want you to be the owner of the world. This word surprised Long Yu. Asked to become a host again. But how can I compete with Long Thien Min? They say you just need to make up your mind. Anything can be done. Your talent is not necessarily inferior to Long Thien Min. It's just that he's been practicing longer than you. That's what you have as an adult. I will teach you to practice one day. You can definitely get past Long Tian Min. Before that, I need to take your name. Building power in the world. I will do my best to help you. Long Yu Yin agreed that I would listen to you. The photographer just came to say dragon chain blood flow in her body. But there's also a little bit of acupressure. Has not been opened. Once these acupressure points are all opened, it unleashes your full potential. Then your strength will be able to reach an extremely frightening level. This kind of power, Long Thien Min, is also difficult to touch if you were a monk. So I'm going to help you open up all these vents. Hearing this made Long Yu sound startled, shocked people. The photographer frowned. Another day, we'll find a secret place to help you get this kind of thing done. Long Yu Yin was surprised to ask this place is not secret. But the photographer refused to let it go. Suddenly, the luggage also came laughing. This is not dragon dance. This famous person, it's just your photographer. Suddenly, he realized that the words were a little wrong and kept quiet. I am sorry to ask you what you think. She came to see me. You can laugh with your luggage. I thought that. She's your woman too. These words make Dragon Yu's face burn red. Then here's the luggage. Laughing the photographer talked about Long Vu Yin. She decided, want to compete for the title of the Long Seal family. Later, she built up her power. Please take more care of yourself. That surprised the luggage. Standing in deep thought, she became the heir to the head of the city. Long dance now. He also wants to fight for the place of succession. Why is that? The heir of 2 nations. Most likely, they are all from France. Even I am an unlucky person. Join in. Fight for the heir of the world inflammation. S.A. Chin ponder this is a coincidence, S.A.O., or the willful fraternal photographer. If it's all in his calculations, it's too much. But it's a coincidence. My brother and I know each other. It's not just a coincidence. The photographer is calling you right now. The luggage is startled and says, don't worry. Let me worry about this first. When the power of the old man in Long Vu Yin grows, I will do my best to help. Long Yin said, they want to build their own power. It's all so simple. My father has won. The old hands and feet are now hidden. Once we decide to fight for the title of landlord, they will definitely come to help me. The captain was surprised to ask if there was anything else. SAO aesthetic photographer, Long Dan Sao. He's not the first heir to my family. You can leave her a beloved dragon. Psychic growth god level. You can imagine Ra. Long Vu Yin's father's position was once very high. I don't blame the teacher. Long Yu Yin is an extremely important person. Help me take a step up to my boss. Vu Van Tong can unify the power of the dragon seal. It will be a great help. Let me fight for the position of the mayor. It's like dragon dance. Want to step up to the position of the owner of the Long Seal family? You must first cross the barrier. That's Long Thien Min. It's a reminder of the succession struggle. No hurry. Go summon the guards first. Long Vu agreed. She turned to her luggage. Then we will also prepare for work later. The manager also agreed. Quickly, everyone left. 3 days after the 5 team of luggage, Van has gathered tight. He asked the photographer how to bring Theo 500 brothers this time. There are 16 people who are transvestites. 36 people are celestial beings. This time we must get the magic. The photographer sighed and said, "Brother-in-law, help me talk to my brother. Take action this time if successful. Each person can get 200 spirit stones." Hearing about this number makes the luggage so surprised. He said if there is a brother who dies, heaven and earth, you can get a subsidy of 100 spirit stones. Celestial realm is subsidized 200 spirit stones. The sky changes the world, 500 spirit stones. These stones are all paid for by us. See it. This brilliance makes the luggage and the people admire it. Your brother is a great man. He bowed his head and said, "You are very polite. I thank you in advance on behalf of my brothers." The photographer is happy to say what to do. The people below saw success. There are also spirit stones. That's great. Let's go. It's a surprise. So we're all excited to go out and have a blast. When they left, the others were watching. 2. That's why he's gathering people to stand in the cold. An orange-haired guy comes down from above to tell the news. Always try to confirm their intentions. The orange-haired man replied that the old man used a magic trick. To hear their conversation, they seem to have discovered a middle-class deity. Deep in the world, they may be preparing to invade. Try to laugh and enjoy the gods. I can't believe it, a medium god. There must be a lot of blood. They're not going to be easy to beat. Medium or bug luggage, etc. Mantis ticks a sparrows hiding behind, waiting for them to hit half. We just stole the lead god. Make them successful. One back at the table, but the old man's luggage power is not small. If we take away his will, it can lead to revenge or not. But try to shout angrily without money. We had a middle god. What are you afraid of them? At the time, God had just been defeated. Inside certain to accumulate a large number of spirit stones. There's a lot of chimpanzees. Wow, we have these stones. May recruit some fake powers. Keep me safe until then. What else can our luggage do to us? Although Van Luggage aesthetics have no small power, but he also sat in his place. The first legal heir. The power is not inferior. You might be afraid of him. Thinking about it, he froze. claims that the AI told their people to cover up the photographer. You two are forced to die like that. He sent out orders. Follow them. The passengers are still flying forward. A blonde ran up to the old man. We're being watched. The driver glanced at me and asked who it was. The young man replied, unknown. There's about 6,700 people who have just discovered them. Then I will report to you immediately. Dare not hit the grass snake. Luggage and so on praise good job. Turn to the photographer. The enemy is someone who comes with no good intentions. The news of the middle god has been leaked. They want to come to pick the island as SAO here now back. It's too late. The photographer calmly replied that there was no need to rush them. I don't want to beat God. The enemy is bound to feel. We will fight with the guardian angel. They fight to the death and they win. As long as we take precautions. They will not be as they wish. Luggage, yes. The enemy is absolutely unsuspecting. What do we want to do? We have a way. To walk a piece of luggage installed. Then remind everyone to be careful. Don't be fascinated by the world. In front of them was the god of lead, surrounded by dark clouds. Thunder and lightning. People hide and see the animal and admire it. Too big. There are many real projects here, only one type. Luggage and so on remind the Kier's flaming lightning. Be careful. This kind of love is very hot. Have a very strong sense of territory. Any living thing that comes close. They will all be attacked. There's one in here that's reached the dragon's path. There are more than 30 of them. The biggest one is Long Dao. He's a very annoying guy. Stupid photographer who looks too. They say we stick to the plan. You send people to change the scene. From the west, lured them out. Don't be aggressive, brother. You brought others from the east. Follow me. Luggage and so on. Just give it to me and tell my subordinates. People remind each other to be careful. Come a little closer. Meanwhile, try to stay here. I'm looking at the lead god in front of me. The cold told itself, I have never had a god before. I don't know when this god was born. Waiting for them to invade. We're going to get it all. Then you can laugh, ha. But wait forever for a while. Without seeing anything moving. Try to ignore. The officers were also eager to ask each other. They know what they're doing. Without any movement at all. I'm always sweating blood, right? Maybe we're wrong. They are not here to attack God. They're just coming to steal spirit stones. Let him have it. It's not that I came in vain. Why don't we have to follow? Before they're ready to retreat, we have to kill them all. Meanwhile, over here, the people of the luggage kept moving forward. Gently, step by step, a photographer said, close enough, that's it. You are with the people of the luggage. Coming up from the trees. Everyone is aiming for the god just rushed straight to. They're flying past the squid and cutting off their heads. The leader of the squid came back to see it. Open your mouth and scream. The flaming serpents immediately rushed to attack. On your side. He also shouted orders his subordinates to go to the god. The light in the back followed. The leader is standing there watching. Suddenly, Team 2 is also working. The male serpents rushed to the bottom. People want to drop their pants. But it's still running amok. And the Dragon King is still standing, distorted to leave. It also makes me admire the dragon path. That scene is pretty smart. The luggage is so cold that it doesn't catch fire at all. If you don't go, it's very difficult for us to sneak in. The photographer laughed softly and said no. It just takes a moment. It's just getting started. At the bottom of my heart, suddenly, there's a flow of illiteracy all around, and then a ball burst. Out the fire bursting through the sky, causing the blazing beams to explode to death. Countless people keep looking. Wonderstorm invention, SAO. Since when can they? Over here, I'm blazing the dragon's path roared. And then it goes straight down there. The photographer thinks it's been tricked. The time has come to give orders. He's got his luggage and he's launching people. The two of them went to the lake. The fiery clouds filled the sky. The luggage sputtered a punch. The rest is not small. The brothers killed them. Immediately, the men of the luggage van full force attack. The battle was extremely violent. The explosions are echoing endlessly. Right now, next to the luggage van appeared a huge rafter scrub. He turned to say, "My brother, let's keep our feet on fire. Come on down." The photographer nodded in agreement. He turned the car straight under the god of lead, like the flaming serpents under the ready-made lake. He opened his mouth to intimidate the photographer. He's coming at rocket speed, so it's impossible to dodge. Immediately summon Ra Love, Holy Blood SAO. Then merge with it, to become a superhumanized figure of power and power. The photographer just crashed right into the blazing barge in front of him, made two flaming beams spinning around stunned. They're screaming out fireballs. Attack towards the regent. But he's still unarmed. He just comes forward. He thought to himself, the flesh of the holy blood. Later, of course, people. Directly down a river path. But now there are three other flaming barges attacking. The photographer realized that what was wrong was that there were 3 level asteroids. These 3 animals are extremely tiger open mouth 5. But suddenly, a slash came. Cut them in half. Turns out this trick is luggage and assistance. He raised his voice. "Give me the others." The photographer just needs to hurry up. Immediately plunged straight into the lake. At the speed of light. He's in the middle of the lake. Civilization freight gradually appeared floating in the air and plunged straight into the lake. The manager above looked down and praised the success. Then turn to your brothers to protect the gods. He raised his sword to the tiger and ordered his men to kill him. A lot of people die. He was killed by a monster. The voices are screaming endlessly. While under the god of lead, smoke and dust rose up. The dragon is now glaring at me. Then quickly spread their wings towards the god of lead. The men of the luggage are still fighting. But suddenly, when you see this dragon, your face is blue. He spread his wings to rub Uncle Ra. It's a show of force that scares people. The dragon's eye opened its mouth wide and screamed. The luggage looks up. I said it so quickly and came back. Let's stop it together. The soldiers came to kill. But over here, the dragon looked at the scene. Then throw its tail out, smashing a bunch of people in a note. The relentless screams. Those who are alive. He stood in front of this great power. Even our celestial brothers. They were all killed. It's so scary to love the movie. but the spirit of fighting rises. They screamed so loud they couldn't let it get close to God. The dragon's head opened its mouth and screamed. Meanwhile, the photographer is now focusing on the wear it above the smoke and fire. But he's still trying to burst out into the water. The hand of writing. And then hurtle straight into the lake. Immediately, the source of wisdom curled around him, glistening. Back to the war. The dragon's path launched a fireball that attacked the people, then plunged straight into the lake. It makes people panic. The luggage yelled out together to stop it. He picked himself up, burns out the burning energy around. Interconnection. Imagine love. Lin Chamlid, Kim Jiao Ko. The red dragon here opened its mouth again, spitting out a raging fire. The bright fire that consumed. People get in the way in the blink of an eye. And then it just kept opening its mouth and releasing the fire, straight to the photographer. But suddenly, the luggage immediately blocked the source of the fire. Put your hands back. I told you not to touch the glass. There was a thunderous explosion over the photographer's head. My luggage told me to burn. Your opponent is me. It makes me crazy. He opened his mouth and screamed. Suddenly, his luggage was frozen like a tree. Muscle trembling said, was torched by the fire of the dragon beam. The royal scene was locked. Then we can't move. Suddenly, two men rushed to the rescue. The manager said the old man, watch out. The animal now opens its mouth wide. It swung its wings across. With the fire burning on me. Set two of his men on fire. With a 7-bar shout. Luggage who looks at his subordinates. To save myself, to die in front of my eyes. 2 subordinates, burned to charcoal in the fire of love. I can't make my luggage scream. He hated it and brought out a source of energy. Form a firepower shot towards the animal. Powerful fireballs hitting Ra. But when VA touched my body, it lit up. It's just like a mosquito biting an electric pole. Luggage van with everyone provokes love. Come here, but it's got a twist. But glanced at the photographer below. And then it opens its mouth wide. The fire is raging. Panicked people are screaming that it's not okay. Our intentions are seen through it. When he finished, he immediately rushed down to the gods to stop him. As if hit by another fireball in the way. It made my luggage bitter and said I couldn't catch up anymore. I can only watch the fireball go down. Photography is getting closer and closer. Hands up to call out the photographer. But he's very focused on his expertise right now. When the fire is close, that's when he caught the genie. I am happy to exclaim success. And immediately, the sphere plummets into the water. The lake's surface trembled with smoke rising. Try to stand by the trees to laugh happily, haha. Look, the luggage was beaten very badly. Your power to fire this royal serpent is too strong. We'd better not poke at it casually. A god just so big right in front of you. But we can't take anything away. It's frustrating. Suddenly, the lead god began to collapse. The stones gradually fell down. I was always stupid to ask what happened. This lead god at SAO has started to collapse on its own. The crib of the blazing fire here exclaimed in amazement. In the blink of an eye, its lead god almost completely collapsed. Make it scream like crazy, looking for the killer. Then he discovered the magic in the distance. Hurry up and turn there. While the photographer in the past. In 1,000 pounds hanging armpit hairs. When the task is completed, They use their imagination to escape into the forest. This seems to have been discovered by the animal. It's screaming at the photographer. Baggage is confusing. Ask him where he wants to go. Suddenly, the photographer flew up. When you're targeted by love, he shouted for you. Don't worry, take your brothers and run away. God is not here. God's house is crumbling completely. Your luggage is anxious to call your photographer, even though we have the God. But the space ring can't be with the soul. If he is killed, the gods will be lost. Think hateful thoughts, whether to help. They can only find death. I don't care that much. He ordered his followers to retreat. Under the ground now, the big pieces of rock fall. The photographer turned to himself and said, well, they're all gone. God has been released. 10,000 lie somehow tied with his soul destiny. I'm dead or not. Sorry about that VI, mine. Because of such efforts, we can cultivate from 2 fate to 3 fate. All of a sudden, when the photographer's floating in the air, I found out that they were hiding underneath. He looked at her. I'm glad that a book has been written. Then fly down. They make stupid people look amazing. Laughing, he said this is not a bad thing. It's a coincidence. Why are you here? So he's counting 1. 2/700 people is not small. Try to ask the photographer. What do you finally want to do? The photographer did not answer, but look up at the sky. He also looked up and panicked. Everyone is terrified when I see you burning like crazy. Open your mouth. Try crazy dog blood cursing photographer. The son of a bitch is in a hurry. Order everyone to retreat for me. But what animal is so easy to forgive? He opened his big mouth. The panicked subordinates just ran away. Just a village. The beast came with a body as big as sand. This whole place is screaming 7 lifeguards out loud. I'm always scared to say run. Behind the animal that's hiding Theo, the flames of fire consumed countless people. Hang tried to say fire-blazing dragon serpent scene. We can't fight it at all. Like a flying photographer, Theo next to me said hello. He touched the glass and tried to shoot the villagers. Your head is all because of you. Don't follow me. Just threaten me if you follow me. You will not die well. Can you hear me? I will make you dust. He said he sped up ahead. But the photographer is still stubborn. Theo said try. I didn't mean to lamb. Try to be surprised when I don't know what the photographer's using. We can catch up with him. The photographer pointed behind him and said that he loved to chase the sharp. I don't know where to run. Try to turn around and call the people behind you. I was terrified to see the animals watching. As rushing village speaking retreat. If you want to die, go yourself. Don't drag me. The Lord replied, I don't want to drag you. It's just reluctance. If you send someone to stop this beam, not following you anymore. I try to scream at you with a thick face. And the fiery lightning still clings to Theo endlessly. Always try to point the hand to command all subordinates. Let's stop him. Let me kill him. The officers immediately took orders. Come and get the photographer. He was surprised to say that he was locked up by an asteroid. This time I didn't escape. Then try to run away. Laugh ha 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 ha. Don't think about it. See, it has to end here. It's all in the plan. Even though the VI retreat is a bit regrettable. But you can try to hurt 7 people. So the unplanned harvest is also worth it. I don't know after I die. Lightning blazing. This false rafter found that nothing had fallen. I will vent my anger on someone, even though the gods so on people. I think I left it to someone else. Quickly, the fireball plummeted. Straight to the photographer. Extremely powerful. The smoke is thick. The people of the 7th generation spoke up. He's dead. He was beaten to dust by the dragon. They were glad to say it was good. I finally dealt with the photographer successfully. I thought you were dragging. The fire will return. But suddenly, it's getting even more angry. Behind it are countless flaming beams. I rushed to cover the sky. The rocks fall down sprawling. I love animals screaming furiously. It's spitting red flames down. People have killed countless people. Try to panic when the animals come back. He is terrified. Tell your men to come and protect me and get out of here. The soldiers also hurried back. Though this side, the beast is constantly spraying fire to destroy his companions. People focus their energy to protect Heng to the end. I love to see that. The guy thought the movie was over. It's amazing when you love animals. They just focus on trying. Over here, I always thought I could escape safely. Then suddenly, the soul is on the other side. The animal is next to your ass, screaming ferociously. Asked and incomprehensible, why doesn't it chase others? They keep chasing us all the time. Try to judge. Maybe this guy wants to take revenge. Or find something. He sees you all protecting me. The person inside is the most important. He ordered you not to be with me. Take it out, take it somewhere else. The soldiers immediately followed. Try to send orders. Given that love of the dragon path is also quite high. Fortunately, we are bad. But life is not a dream. The animal keeps chasing him. Try to keep your word. It's burning in the back. Try to be bitter. Akai shouted at the photographer, I won't leave you alone. Move the scene on the side of the temple in the soul. Now there's a big space inside. There's a lot of metal cabinets here, hanging by the chains. It looks like a grave cover. And among them, there's a bright flame. And quickly, this iron cabinet lit up like hell. A few hours later, regressive boot osteoarthrosis come out, laughing to finally come back to life, then stretch out a thought. After the resurrection, there are only 2. And it's a very long time. My soul will be in a state of unease. There's no way to send your destiny to the soul. They can't enter the world either. You must first bring a solid soul. But my soul seems to have something special. Strangely, logically speaking, I fell from 3 to 2. The soul may have to turn off a new flame. But the yellow keyer is only slightly weakened. See if you can practice again very quickly. Even though this life is in my soul. There are too many strange things. The harvest this time to the world. It is worth dying once. God of the earth. Just to get into the thousands of Lysan Hamap. I don't know how many stones I can give birth to. At this time suddenly luggage fingerprint, welcome. Call your brother. The surprised photographer asked his brother. He rushed in. It is a shame I can't protect you. Laughing, he replied to a small thing. If you don't go, it will hurt 7 more. If you have any questions, ask the gods. Photographer replied, God is still alive and you care. That made my luggage very surprised. I was going to ask again when suddenly someone came.